Okay, so practice test. I'm going to go over the practice test. I will put it on YouTube, and I'll put a link into Schoology for you to do this. I'll put descriptions in there as well. So if you know how to do one of the questions, you can just kind of skip on to it and so forth. So question number 1 says, find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of each convex polygon. Okay, so 17, so our formula that we use for here is n minus 2 times 180. So we're going to do 17 minus 2 times 180. Make sure you do the 17 minus 2 first, so that's 15. 15 times 180 is 2,700. Done. Hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides. So we're going to go 6 minus 2 times 180. So 4 times 180, 720. Next one says, find the measures of each interior angle of a complex polygon. Show your work. So it says each this time. So the formula that we use for each is n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. A heptagon has 7 sides, so 7 minus 2 times 180, and we're going to divide it by 7. So do the top first. So 7 minus 2 is 5, so 5 times 180, 900. Divide that by 7, you get 128.6 for interior. So 15 gone for number 4. So 15 minus 2 times 180 divided by 15. So 13 times 180 divided by 15. And you get 156. And there's your solution. For number 5, it says the measures of an interior angle of a regular polygon is given. Find the number of sides. So now we're going to use this n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. But now it's going to equal the measure of our angle, because remember up above, that's what we found. So now we solve. So we multiply both sides by n, and then we distribute. So that's 180n minus 360 equals 144n. Just kind of did the cross multiplying, and then I distributed. 144 minus 180 is negative 36n equals negative 360. So n equals 10. Okay, for number 6, n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. This time is going to be 157.5. So 180n minus 360 equals 157.5n. So 157.5 minus 180. That gives me negative 360 equals negative 22.5n. Negative 360 divided by negative 22.5 gives us 16. And there it is for number 6. Number 7, it says find the measures of each interior angle. Show your work. So remember the interior angles of a 4-sided figure. So it's a quadrilateral, are going to add up to 360. So we have to add them all up. So 9x plus 6x plus 6x plus 9x. So that's 15, so that's 30 x's. 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 is 60. That has to equal 360. So subtract 300, so x is equal to 10. So now I have to substitute it in there. So 9 times 10 is 90. 90 plus 15 is 105, so angle 1 is 105. Then angle C is going to be 105 as well. 60 plus 15 is 75, so angle B is 75, as is angle D. And you're done. Number 8. The exterior angles. Remember, the exterior angles always add up to 360. Interior angles changes by shape. Exterior angles, no matter what the shape is 360. So we've got 5n plus 4n, that's 9n. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so we've got 15n this time. But now, because it's the exterior angles, it's going to be 360. This you get n is equal to 24. So angle R is 5 times 24, which is 120. Angle S is 2 times 24, which is 48. Angle T is 3 times 24, which is 72. Well, maybe I've got these. I'm sorry. I messed them up. Angle S, I think, is this one right here. So angle S is 24. Angle T is 48. Angle P is 72. And angle Q is 96. So just be a little bit careful with that. I kind of messed them up. Number 9 says use the parallelogram ABCD to find the measure of each value. So they tell us it's a parallelogram. So since it's a parallelogram, we know opposite sides are congruent. We know opposite sides are parallel. And all these different things. So if we look in here, the first one we want to find is BCD. There's B, there's C, there's D. Well, 22 plus 86 is 108. So we got that one. Next one, ABC. So remember that consecutive angles have to be supplementary. So we can go 180 minus 108, which is 72, and that's going to give us ABC. And then it's asking for ADC. Remember, opposite sides are congruent, or opposite angles are congruent. So if angle B, ABC was 72, this has to be 72 as well. And then find x, opposite sides are congruent. So 2x equals 56. So x is equal to 28. So 28 for number 12. Number 13, determine whether the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Justify your answers. In this case, opposite sides are parallel, and one pair of opposite sides are parallel and one set of opposite sides are congruent. Does that make it a parallelogram? Nope. Next one. You got these two angles are supplementary. With those two angles being supplementary, does that make it a parallelogram? Nope, not necessarily. Who knows what's happening on that other side? More than likely, those two are going to be parallel now because they are supplementary. But I could have something that looked like that. Diagonals are congruent. Opposite sides, no. And the last one, all three sides are congruent. When all angles are congruent, your answer is going to be, yeah, it's going to be a parallelogram. Especially if it has four sides, it's going to be a square. Next one, it tells us it's a rectangle. So we got to go through our properties of a rectangle. It says that UZ is 7x minus 10, and ZS is 6x plus 7. What's US? Well, in a rectangle, the diagonals bisect each other. So that means these two things equal each other. You get x is equal to 17. It's not what it wants. It wants the length of the whole thing. So we substitute it in there. So 7 times 17 minus 10. That makes this 109, which also makes this 109. So add that together and you get 218. RZ this time is 3x plus 8. XS is 6x. So again, they're going to be the same. In a rectangle, all the diagonals are the same. So you get 3x equals 21. X is equal to 7. Now they want the distance from U to Z. The distance from U to Z is going to be the same distance as R to Z, so we can substitute it in there. That's 29. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 plus 8 is 29. There you go. And you're done. Number 19, we have a rhombus. So we have to go through the properties of rhombus, and you should have all those listed in your notes. They're giving us PY. We have to find PY, so we're given all these things. We're given RK is 4x plus 7. Okay, so we know that RX is 4x plus 7. I'm just going to write all of these in here. We know that ZK is 8x minus 1. We know that YK or PK is 6z, and that's 9z minus 12. Okay, well, all the diagonals bisect each other. So to find PY, we can go 6z is equal to 9z minus 12. So that's negative 3z equals negative 12. Z is equal to 4. So that makes this length 24, which makes this length 24. 24 plus 24 is 48. Now we got to find RZ. So we know that RK, 4x plus 7, is going to equal 8x minus 1. Again, solve. You get 8 is equal to 4x. X is equal to 2. Substitute that in there. That makes that 15. 15 plus 15 is 30. The next one asks you the distance from R to Y. Okay, so RY is right here. We've got this little shape going on. Okay, we know that's a right angle. And this is R, this is K, this is Y. We know that this is 24, and we know that this is 15. We have to find this one, so we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So 24 squared plus 15 squared is going to equal RY squared. So 24 squared is 576. 15 squared is 225. Add those things together and you get 801. Take the square root of 801 and you get 28.3. And number 22 says find the measure of YKR. Remember that angle in a rhombus is always 90 degrees. Next one, we've got a trapezoid. And it's an isosceles trapezoid. So in an isosceles trapezoid, base angles are congruent. So if angle C is 110, that makes this 110 degrees. Now we know all the angles are going to, we know these two lines are parallel, so that's got to add up to that. So that's 70. 70 plus 110, so that makes that 70. So that has to be 70 as well. And then it wants to find the mid-segment. So remember the mid-segment formula is 1/2 of 31 from right there plus 13. So 1/2 of 31 plus 13. 31 plus 13 is 44. Half of that is 22. There's your answer. Number 24. This time, we know our mid-segment is 18.5. So that's going to equal 1/2 of our question mark plus 28.2. So I'm going to multiply by 2. 18.5 times 2 is 37. That's going to equal question mark plus 28.2. So I'm going to go 37 minus 28.2, and that's going to give me my answer of 8.8. And we're done. Question number 25, it says for the trapezoid, Q and R are the midpoints and the legs, find AD. So kind of that same thing. We know the middle again is 14. So 14 is going to be 1/2 of AD plus 9. So multiply by 2, that's 28 is equal to 1/2. Oops, sorry. Then it's just AD plus 9. Subtract 9, and you get 19. Angle A and angle B have to add up to 180. So 180, this is going to be 180 minus 118, which is 62. And those two have to add up to 180, so 180 minus 107, which is 73. Number 26, the diagonals in an isosceles trapezoid are congruent to each other. So 2x plus 10 is going to equal to 4x minus 4. So this would be 2x equals 14, so x is equal to 7. It wants to know the distance, however, from G to E, so we plug it in. 14 plus 10 is 7 is 24. In a kite, it's telling us that JMN is 34. So if that's 34, that makes that 34. We have to find NJM. So we have to find this one right here. Well, in a kite, we know that all these angles are 90 degrees. So J, in this case, is going to be 180 minus 34 minus 90, which is 56. In 28, which is the last one, LMN. LMN, it's 43, so that's going to make that one 43. I'm sorry, it's 30. I messed that up. Try this again. LMN is 30. Makes that 30, and remember we know that's 90. It tells us that LKN is 43. So that makes that one right there 43. We have to find MLK, so we have to find this whole thing. Okay, so we know that we've got 30, 90, so that makes that part 60. 30 plus 90 plus 60 is 180. So we know the first part right there, that little part right there is 60. We got to find that one. So that's going to be 180 minus 90 minus 43, which is 47. And we can add those two things together, which is 107. And there's your answer. Okay. So there's a video of your review. Okay, remember this isn't due. You don't have to turn this in. This is just for you review purposes to make sure you know how to do the problem. Quiz is, soon. The assessment is soon, like the next day. So Wednesday is when your quiz is for this one. So good luck on the quiz tomorrow, everybody. If you have questions, make sure you let me know. Bye.